It has been 4 months since BBC released their hit documentary on the atrocities of TB Joshua, using his church as a cover. Welcome to Top Naija Live. I'm your host, Dorhta, and today we are going to be discussing about the atrocities of TB Joshua. Daily Post report that BBC on Monday, January 8, released a documentary of alleged eyewitnesses accounts the horrible things that he had done. The now controversial documentary has generated a heated conversation on the internet, with the netizens expressing mixed opinions. Now, not many believe this to be true, but some still can't reject it as false either. So today we are going to be giving you a full recap on this matter, and we would love to know what you think about it, if you believe or if you don't. These are the key revelations of the documentary. This documentary is about the founder of the Synagogue Church of All Nations, Temitope Balogun Joshua, aka TB Joshua. This documentary has drawn public attention following the 3-part BBC documentary investigating allegations of sexual crimes committed by the great clergyman who passed away in 2021. The documentary was released on Monday, January 8, 2024, featuring 25 eyewitnesses and alleged victims from all around the world who claim to have lived with him in the church premises at different times. Now, one of them stated that TB Joshua wanted everything to be filmed. TB Joshua invested 90% of the church earnings in VHS CDs, thousands of CDs. The instruction he gave to the cameraman was to record everything. The video covered healing performed in the synagogue church, adding authenticity to his gospel of miracle works. He invested so much in the Emmanuel TV. That's the name of the TV channel owned by his church. He often tells his congregation that if Jesus Christ was not recorded in the Bible, you would not have believed that he is the same yesterday, today, and forever. One of the disciples, who was also his right-hand man, said that TB Joshua staged most of his healings. Another disciple said that they always exaggerated people's illnesses. Someone could be having headache and they will write down brain tumor and cancer on blank cards and claim that they have been healed by TB Joshua. TB Joshua has special interest in the Oyibo, the whites. He uses the whites to market his brand. Having them around was like an achievement to him. Anytime this white audience are around, he makes sure that they stays in the guest house, which he pay for in dollars, and rejoices anytime his accountant brings the balance sheet to him. Anytime a white is returning back to his country, he will give them hundreds of VHS CDs, as many as possible, and instructs them to share the CDs to their friends and families and tell them to come to the Synagogue Church of All Nations. His strategy to attract white congregation worked, and he used it to his best advantage. Hundreds of whites are ready to do anything for TB Joshua. TB Joshua was a man of God with a raging hot temper. Several ex-disciples of TB Joshua said that he had a terrible hot temper. TB Joshua has two faces, the face on the Emmanuel TV and the real face, says one of the eyewitnesses. One of the disciples said, "One of my job is to write articles for the church. He called me in and said, 'Where is the article? Have you not published it yet?' And I said, 'Sorry sir, I have not published it.' He slapped me." Another member recounted how many times people would run off when the man of God is hot, and they will say, "Daddy is hot, Daddy is hot," and those who stayed back were slapped, and how they were told that it was an honor to get slapped by him because he was next to Jesus. Ajoke is his actual daughter with another woman. He doesn't like her. She has been beaten every time, and she's always been beaten with an electric cord with hot water. Constant abuse. He hated her and punished her for just being born. She's probably the biggest threat to his reputation, said one of his disciples. Ajoke will be standing and someone will just slap her for no reason, says one of the disciples. He locks Ajoke away in a room for months after being brutally beaten. Sexual abuse allegations. Several women who care and who was once under TB Joshua's discipleship allegedly said that they have all been sexually abused by the clergyman. TB Joshua would ask me to find virgins for him, and he would bring the young girls into his disciple folds. In the midnight, the girls would be called into his room one after the other with one Bible and a jotter so he could disvirgin them. Wow. Another ex-members of the discipleship told the BBC, He sexually abuses them in the name of delivering them from future promiscuity. He was a sexual predator. He makes them have abortions after getting pregnant in the medical department in the synagogue church. TB Joshua is a ritualist. People think that his prayer mountain is where he goes to and pray, but there is more to that, says one of his ex-members. After having sexual contact with one of the girls, he packs all the bedsheets and takes them into the prayer mountain. He was doing all these sexual activities for something spiritual, calling them in one after the other. He has all the pictures of his disciples in one of the rooms in the prayer mountain, the guest house that collapsed. On the 12th of September 2014, the guest house of the foreigner of Synagogue Church of Nations collapsed, killing 116 people, including 85 South Africans. TB Joshua is responsible for the death of those people. He kept asking the engineers to keep building on a weak foundation because of the money he was getting from the Uyghurs, the white. When we told him that the building collapsed, he didn't feel pity for the lives of the people that died. After a while, he called the cameraman to video everything. In the night, he still called on the girls to do the sexual activities with them, and I was like, of all days, one of the former 5-story boys said. We would save the partially injured people in the morning, and in the night when everybody has gone, that's when the real work begins and being done. Different hands and legs and dead bodies were packed and thrown into the bushes, and they were taken to an unknown destinations, one of the former disciples said. TB Joshua showed his congregation a footage of a plane hovering around the building and said that that was the reason the plane collapsed, and the people on the plane were trying to target him. The whole plane story was a lie, one of the former members of the Synagogue Church of Nations said. The victims' family said TB Joshua sent them bags of money and said their loved ones would be happy if they accepted the money, and threatened the ones that refused to accept the money or demand for justice and warned them not to say anything to the police. The Lagos crew now recommended the leadership of the Synagogue Church of Nations to be prosecuted for criminal negligence. TB Joshua bought the whole system and they kept adjourning the case. 10 years on, the victims' family are still fighting for justice. Days after the former disciple gave their first interview to the BBC, TB Joshua died. All these are the highlights of the documentary. Back to you, our viewers. Do you think this documentary is true? Do you think these witnesses and victims are saying the truth? Or how could a great man of God do these horrifying things? Or is it possible that a man that has saved so many lives and helped so many people can do something like this? What do you think about this documentary as a whole? Let us know in the comment section below your thoughts. See you guys next time. Thank you so much for taking your time to view this video, and I'm sure that you have a lot on your mind. So pin them down in the comment section below and I will get back to you.